One day, not too long ago, a few years ago, I was living with my uncle in his house and I was watching some Netflix and I wasn't really interested in a lot of movies at the time, so I was more or less investing my time into documentaries. And I was watching a documentary series called Zeitgeist, and I believe on the first video, a documentary, they had a couple of K's quotes on there, and I think it was a verbal quote and a written quote. And I felt like the individual who I didn't know at all was speaking directly, and it was something that for me I only work when if you're I work more well psychologically speaking if you're speaking directly and not about abstract things. So for me, watching those clips, it was immediate to what he was. It was immediately observable what he was pointing to. Influenced me in a way where uh, I found it a better means to articulate myself personally. What do I mean by that? Well, before I stumbled upon K's teachings, um, I've investigated into things myself, and it was profoundly difficult for me to articulate what I was seeing. So Kay was an individual who articulated himself very well, and he did it in a manner where it wasn't uh, like we were over here and now we're over here and now we're over here. It was very step by step, mathematical, orderly, and we get to a certain point and we remain with facts directly. So that was the major influence Kay had on my life personally. I don't feel like younger people need the teaching. Um, I feel like what the youth need is to keep their inquisitive mind. I feel like we're all born inquisitive and curious and directly involved in the things that we were coming in contact with. And we kind of lost that energetic space due to how our education is set up, where more or less you need to accumulate information and not really directly inquire into something that's living. And so the teachings become maybe something totally different in the eyes of a child who's inquisitive, and maybe the teachings wouldn't be necessary if we had minds that were naturally and passionately inquisitive. So for the youth, I think that the only thing that's really needed is to inquire and to investigate, and it doesn't have to be led by any teaching. It could be just from what makes sense to the child.